Okay, we're going to do animated pose inside the Photoshop. All right. So there's a two function inside the Photoshop that we're going to overlook for today. Okay. So for those who are ready already, please open your Photoshop. Okay, if you don't have the material, for the time being, you can use any pictures. I'll show it to you, a very simple one. Okay, because our objective here to give you understanding about GIF animated inside Photoshop. Okay, yeah. Okay, so while waiting the rest, all right, so let's create a new document inside our Photoshop. Okay, so basically we're going to use IG story, IG square size. That will be, if I can zoom into my monitor. Okay, so we're going to use the IG square size. There will be 180 by 180. It doesn't zoom in the video. Okay, it's okay. All right, let's create a new document. So IG story, 180 pixel by 180 pixel. The resolution should be 72 because we are doing for screen size. Okay, so let's create that IG square and click create. Okay, so now we already have our document or work area to work with. All right. Okay. So everybody already open your Photoshop. All right. Okay. If you pay attention, okay, underneath of our document, okay, we have our timeline panel. Is below here. All right. So if you don't have the timeline panel, you can go to Windows. Okay, you can go to Windows. All right. And then from there, you can find your timeline. It's over here. Okay, to open your timeline panel. So to do a video animated or GIF animated inside Photoshop, we need to enable our timeline panel because here where we create all the animation and motion for our element, graphic element. So after you done open your timeline, okay, welcome for those who are just joining the classes today. So today we are going to do GIF animated inside Photoshop. Okay, and then please open your Photoshop so that you can follow me step by step. All right, and make sure you activate your timeline panel. It should be underneath here. If you can see my cursor. If you don't have it, go to Window and select your timeline. Okay, make sure you check your timeline. Okay, make sure you open your Photoshop first, yeah. Photoshop first, all right. So create a IG square size, 180 by 180. Okay, 72 resolution. Okay, and then we're going to start from scratch to create our post and animated it. And make sure you activate or open your timeline panel. So go to Windows and choose timeline. All right. Good morning for those who are just coming. Okay, welcome. All right. Okay, make sure you open your Photoshop, yeah. So we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial. All right. It's quite simple. Okay. So when you're done opening your document, new document, and also your timeline, okay, pay attention underneath here. Okay, because currently we don't have anything. All right. So when you have, okay, underneath here, there's an option for our timeline. Okay, are we going to create video timeline or frame animation. Okay, these two options will give you different setting and different style, animation style that you can apply to your post or to your design. Okay, for the moment, in this morning, we are going to focus first to create frame animation. Okay, right. For those who can hear me, open or create a new document, IG square, 180 by 180. Make sure you activate your timeline panel. All right. And then choose create frame animation. You guys can hear me? Okay. All right. So choose create frame animation, yeah. And then click on it to activate our frame animation. Okay, Rosaline, go to file, click new. Okay, go to file, click new. Okay, when you go to file, click new. Okay, then you can select the IG square template. If you don't have it, okay, you can choose any web or mobile template. All right, and then you just change the size 180 wide and height 180 resolution 72 and save it as a IG story square. All right. Okay. If you don't have the template, select web or mobile setting. I prefer you choose a mobile and then select anything. Just change the size to 180 times 180 resolution 72. Okay, and then make sure you open your timeline panel, goes to Windows and timeline. Thank you, D. Okay, so now we have our timeline. Okay, let me make it bigger a bit. Okay, if you focus on our timeline, right? Okay, as you can see here, okay, let me put it here only. Okay, if you focus on your timeline, okay, it's this for animation timeline, all right? Okay, for the timeline panel, I believe it's only applicable for the newest CC version. Okay, for the CS5, I don't think it's available. Okay, because this new version add up to the Adobe Photoshop, because sometimes we need to create a simple animated pose with using limited motion. Okay, rather than bring it to After Effects, then you can make it inside Photoshop to create the animated pose. So I believe the minimum requirement for the software should be a CC, yeah. But it's okay. The video will be recorded. So maybe after this, you can download CC from Adobe as a trial for 30 days. Then you can try it out. All right. So let's focus on the timeline. Okay. All right, all right. So I already hide this. Okay. All right. So now we have our timeline panel. So this is our frame. Okay. If you can get from the Shopee, why not? You can get it. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we focus back to our timeline. All right. Okay. So for the frame animation, so the timeline setting is quite different between the video. I'm going to show you after this the video setting. Okay, where for the frame animation we focus more about the frame. Okay. Okay. This one also I need to hide. All right. Okay. So when you go to the setting at the timeline panel, it's on the top right corner over here. Okay. If you click on the setting, okay, we have two options. Okay, are we going to create a new layer for each new frame or not? So my advice, okay, let's uncheck for the create new layer for each new frame because we don't want to confuse ourselves. Well, when we create a frame, then they will automatically create a new layer inside our Photoshop. Okay, for your understanding, here inside the timeline, we create a frame, and inside our layer panel where we create our layer. So if you check or if we tick a create new layer for each new frame, they will create automatically a new layer at our layer panel. Then this will disturb a bit our working flow where everything become a new layer, okay, rather than we set our frame as individual. Okay, so please uncheck the create new layer for each new frame. All right, and then we can start with our GIF animated. Okay, so everybody ready already? All right. Okay, first let's understand the panel itself. All right. Okay. Uh, if I zoom to my windows, okay, as you can see here, all right. So this is my timeline. So this is my frame, and underneath my frame we have a timing for our frame. Are we going to delay? How many seconds or no delay at all? Okay. So we're going to play around with this later. This is a button for you to convert your frame animation to the video timeline. But if you do so, okay, some of your setting or keyframe that you have already created will be missing. Okay, because of the transition. So my suggest, you need to choose either you're going to use a frame animation or video animation. All right. So beside it, we have a playback setting. Are we going to loop once? Are you going to loop 3 times, or are you going to make it forever loop? All right. Or you can click other to open more setting where you can change how many loop that you want. All right. So next is the controller for our frame animation, where we can play it, where we can go to the next frame, we can go to the previous frame, and then we can go to our first frame. Okay, this is a tweening button. Okay, I'm going to show you later. And over here is to duplicate the new frame. And last button is to delete. It's quite simple, very straightforward. Okay, it's easy to use. Okay, let's try to create GIF animated for your post. All right, so I'm going to zoom out. Okay, to do that, all right, click your text tool, okay, or your type tool. Okay, it's inside our toolbar here. Okay, click text tool, all right, and then click at your document. I'm going to type, okay, blink. So what we're going to do, we're going to blink our text. Okay, so this is usually we use it a lot inside our post where we're blinking our certain text to create more attention. Right, so you can change your family type and style of your font. So for the time being, I just leave it as Arial and bold, and I'm going to change the size by clicking Ctrl T, where I can transform my text and make it bigger. Okay, click enter. Alright. So to change the color, just double click on your text layer and go on the top bar here, okay, where you can change your color. So for the time being, I'm going to change the color to red, so it will be more striking. All right, create your text. Okay, done. So for this exercise, you don't have to change or convert your text to rasterized layer. Rasterized layer where we can edit or delete or erasing some part of our text. Okay, so when you're done, all right, so what you're going to do, you're going to create a new duplicate layer. So the button is here inside our timeline panel. Okay, click on it. So what we done, so we already copy our first frame. So as you can see here, if I can zoom in, okay, we have two frames, okay, showing blink text. Okay, to make it blink, it's quite simple. Okay, go to your second frame. Okay, select your second frame. And okay, let me make it my Photoshop smaller a bit. Okay, select your second frame. Okay, and go to your layer. So what we're going to do, we're going to hide our text. Click the eye icon here to hidden our text. Okay. Can you guys follow?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so if I can zoom back to my timeline, all right. Is it my video is working? Is it working right? Okay, if I go back to my timeline, I can see now I have two frames, one with a blink text, another one without the blink text. So this is how we control our frame inside our timeline. So we can choose what we want to show according to selected frame. So that's why I didn't check create a new layer when we create a new frame. Okay, this is more easy to control. All right, let me zoom out a bit. Okay, and to see or to set up our GIF animated. Okay, now we have two frame already. So let's zoom in back to our timeline. Okay, so change the second for this delay. So I'm going to select 0.5 second, half second. And then for the second frame also 0.5 half second. All right. And for the loop, playback, I click forever. So we can see our animation. So let's zoom out. Click the play button to see your animation. So this is a very simple way to create a blink text that you can put inside your post, okay, or your design. Okay, so I hope everybody can do the blinking effect, the GIF animated. Okay, good. All right, so let's continue. Okay, I can stop my animation. So now we already done our blinking effect. So other than the blinking effect, what we can do, okay, we can do or we can change the color of our text. All right. So for the first exercise, what we do, we just hide our text according to the layer and selected frame. Then we create the blinking effect. So the next one is we're going to show our text again inside my frame 2. Okay, frame 2. I'm going to open again my text. Okay, so that we can see, okay, our text. So what we're going to do, we're going to change the color for the frame number 2. Okay, to do that, okay, just double click on our text, and then we're going to select, okay, hold on now, because my top menu bar is hidden. I already hide my floating meeting room, but it sometimes appear automatically. Okay, right. All right. So okay, double click on our text layer. So we have our top menu bar here, where we can change the color of our text. So from red, I'm going to choose probably blue, okay, to apply to our text. Okay. So if we go back to our frame, okay, as you can see, it changed everything, okay, because it's according to the layer that we choose, all right? So to make the colors, what we need to do, okay, we're going to duplicate our text layer. I'm going to click my text layer, click and drag to the new item. So over here that I will duplicate my text layer. So where underneath I will name it as bling blue. So on top of it, I'm going to change it as a bling red. So to make it simple bling, we just need one layer. But to change from different color, so we need two layer with the two different colors. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click the bling red and change my color to red again, so that we will have two color. Okay, blue and red. Okay, let's go to our timeline. So currently it's showing both the same colors because we click all the layer to show. So what we're going to do, select your frame 1. Okay, select your frame 1. So we're going to hide our red text. So it will show only a blue text. Don't worry, when the second frame also change, okay, because we also need to modify the frame 2. Now go to your frame 2, go to your layer, hide your blue text, but show your red text. So now we have two frames with the two color of our text. So if I zoom into my timeline, okay, as you can see here, okay, a two frame with the different colors. So if you play your animation, so the effect will be something like this. So it change color. If you want to put additional color, then we create a new layer. Okay, it doesn't matter how many color you want to add on. Okay, you can add it. All right, and then you just change the color according to the layer. Okay, so after you done that, all right, because our color is a bit jumping because the transition is quite hard. Okay, so this is the time where we apply our tweening. So select both layer. Okay, let me zoom. Okay, select both layer and click on tweening. Okay, tween animation frame. So when we click tween animation frame, so if I zoom out, there's another option appear here. Okay, so the tweening option where we should select, okay, the selection, and then we can control how many frame we're going to add. The more frame you add, it will be more smooth transition. So I'm going to add 10 frame, and then the rest just leave it like that. By clicking OK, the system or the computer will automatically generate additional 10 frame, the transition between the blue to red. Okay, I'm click OK. So when we play with our animation, So now the color change, okay, according to the transition of the colors. All right. So can you guys follow me? So we already create two GIF animation. Okay, blinking, color transition, and but this time the color transition is a bit smooth. Okay, but when we play our animation, okay, we can see the color changing is doesn't too smooth. Okay, this is because of the timing. Because at first we choose 0.5 second for transition between the frame. So we're going to select all and change the timing to 0.1 second. So when you play your animation, it will look more smooth. Okay, so this is how we create a smooth transition when we want to we have two different color. We want our text to transition the color from different color to other colors. Okay, all right. So next is how we going to make it moving, because we have blinking, we have color transition, we have a smooth and jumping transition. Okay, and then now we want to create moving text inside our post. All right. So if you understand this, it's quite easy when we apply it to our Instagram post or our GIF animated post. Okay. So to do that, okay, I'm going to delete all the frame. Okay, I'm going also to delete all my layers. So we're going to start fresh. All right. So I'm going to choose my text layer, text tool or typing tool. Okay, click on it. On there and get, okay, we're going to create a new text. So I'm going to put like a text of sales. Okay, something like that. I'm going to click Control T to change the size of my text. Okay, click enter when you're happy with the size and put it wherever you want to put it. Okay, so now we have our text. Okay, if you can see at my document, I already activate my rule of third grid to help me to identify or to help me to place my element correctly. Okay, what I'm going to do, we're going to okay, hold on. Let me hide it again because okay, it's automatically appear. All right. So again, sales. Choose your type tool. Create a new type. Type sales, and then put it somewhere over here. Click Control T for transformation so that we can change the size of the text. Okay, and then we put it starting on top, left top here. Okay, we're going to make the text moving. Okay, from the top, going down, and then going top again. Okay, to do that, all right, we need to create a new frame inside our timeline. So click create a new frame. So now we have new frame. Okay. If we change our position of the text by selecting the second keyframe, okay, we can see the position is changing already. So this is how we record the position of our element according to the frame. Okay, again, so we already create our text. I'm going to start from my left top document here. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate a new frame inside my timeline. Okay, duplicate. So after we duplicate, by selecting the frame tool, So I'm going to change my position for my text, okay, to the second row, okay, to make it jumping, okay, from the first position to the second position. Okay, so if you continue the same step by creating a new frame and then changing the position, okay, creating a new frame and changing the position, click a new frame and changing the position. Okay, let's do it until we have the last position of our text. Okay, the last one is until here only. Okay, so when we done everything, okay, to drag, just use your move tool. The shortcut should be V. All right. So after we change the position of every frame, and then we can change the duration for the timeline or the frame timeline to 0.5 second. So when you play your animation, so your text is jumping around, circling your pose. So this is how we make it our text moving inside our pose. All right. So make sure the position of your text is different between the frame so that the text will be moving. But make sure the position is not too far. If not, the jumping animation will be more disturbed. Okay, so this is how we create a moving text inside our animated post. It's quite simple. Just move it according to the frame by duplicate the frame and move your text. Duplicate the frame and move your text. Okay? Can you guys follow me? Okay, good. All right. So other than we creating a jumping text, we also create a little bit smooth motion for our animation. Okay. So how to do that is quite simple. Okay, I'm going to stop my animation first. Okay. So if you're happy with your animation, you can go to File and go to Export and select Save Web Legacy. Okay. Again, go to File, Export, Save Web Legacy, or the shortcut is Alternate Shift Control S. Okay. So I'm going to delete this because we're going to make our text moving a little bit smooth, not jumping around. So I'm going to select the frame 8 to 2. I'm going to delete it. Okay, we come back to our first frame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the position, put it in the second row. Okay, underneath here. Okay, make sure you click Shift to control your motion when you changing the position of your text according to the straight line. Okay, so we have our first frame. Okay, first position, center on the left. All right. So we're going to do same step. We're going to duplicate to create a frame number 2. But this time we're going to change the position to the right center of our post, where we have two position for our text. So previously we create a jumping text. So now we're going to create relatively smooth motion of our text. Okay. To do that, it's quite simple. Remember the tween button. Okay, tweening animation. This is automatically generated by the computer. Okay, select both frame, click your tween. There's an option for your tween, so you can add your frame. Okay, I'm going to add 12 frame. Okay, the more frame you add, the motion will be more smooth. Okay, the rest, just leave it like that, and then click OK. So when you click OK, automatically the computer will determine the motion or the position of the text from the first position to the second position. Okay, will be auto generate. So if you play your animation, so now your text is moving from left to right. Okay, if the motion is not too smooth, change the timing for your frame, because currently is 0.5 to 0.1 second. So make it a little bit faster. Now we have our text moving from left to right. So we already learned how to change the color of our text. Okay, smooth and jump transition. And then we also learn how to move our typo or text. Okay, jumping and also smooth motion. All right, it's quite simple. To make it moving left to right. So what you're going to do, okay, you can select the first layer or the first frame. Okay, click duplicate. So what is going to happen is duplicate to be the second key, second frame. So what we're going to do, we're going to select this second frame, click and drag, bringing to the end. Okay, so we're going to put at the end. So same step, we're going to choose the last frame and the second last frame, click tween. Okay, just leave it the setting like that and click OK. So we add up additional frame so that our animation will be more smooth. So it will move from left to right and come back to left. So use your tween animation button to create a smooth motion. Okay. All right. Is that good? Okay. So this is a frame animation. So when we select the frame animation inside our timeline, so that's mean we need to focus more what we put inside our frame. So that will be affect our animation, how it's going to look like. Okay. So now let's go back to our material. We're going to create a post, something like this. Okay, if you can see my post. Okay, we are using a material that I pass it to you guys. Okay, all right. So we're going to recreate again whatever I already created here. Okay, it's quite simple here. All right. So okay, I'm going to create a new document. Okay, let's do it together. Okay, file, a new document. Again, I'm going to use my IG square template. Okay, you can create your own template, yeah, and save it by changing the preset detail here, and then forget to click save here to save your preset. So that's in the future, you can just select it and use it again and again. All right, so I'm going to click create. Okay, first what we're going to do, we're going to place our pictures. So I'm going to file, place abandoned. Okay, I'm going to choose our picture. If you don't have the material, you can choose any picture you have. So I'm going to choose, okay, one of the pictures. And okay, we're going to put at the center here, where you can see the title or the name of the lipstick is inside the third row. Okay, I'm going to make it smaller a bit. Okay, and then put it down a bit, something like that. click enter. Okay, to lock down our position of our artwork. Okay, again, I'm going to place a banded. Okay, this time I'm going to place a banded, the logo of the company. Okay, and I'm going to click place. Okay, transform the size, click shift to make sure we constrain the rotation, the ratio, the ratio. And I'm going to put the logo on top of here. Okay, so the concept of design today, we are going to use a rectangular shape. All right, so after we done that, what we're going to do, we're going to create another rectangular shape. This is for like a discount. Okay, we're going to use our rectangular. Okay, click on it. So I'm going to make it something like over here, overlapping and touching a bit our pictures. Okay, change the color by double clicking on our layers. Okay, and then I'm going to choose the Sebawang corporate color. Okay, and then I'm going to click OK. All right, so this is the places where you're going to put the discount tags. All right, so because our picture is look like a naked, because we don't have frame on it, so what we're going to do, we're going to create another rectangular. Okay, use your rectangular tools. I'm going to create the same size of our pictures. Okay, and make it a little bit bigger. Choose your move tool, click Ctrl T. I'm going to click Shift and drag to make it a little bit bigger. Click Shift and drag, so you're focusing on our center point, where we're going to change our rectangular layer, and before that, click Enter. We change the layer position, bring it underneath our pictures, so that our picture will be on the top of it. So now we have our frame, but when we have a same color, it will be like a merging together. So we're going to change the color. We're going to apply a little bit darker value for it, okay, to add more contrast. So now we have our composition, okay, but the background is a bit too plain white, so I'm going to add a different color. Okay, same. What you're going to do, you're going to create a rectangular, but this time we are following our document size. Okay, rectangular, click from the left top corner here, and I'm going to bring to the right bottom corner here. It's a screen size. Okay, I'm going to move it, make it as a bottom layer inside the layer position. So I'm going to change it, double click on it. I'm going to change it back to the corporate color. Okay, but because I'm going to apply a different color, but I want to maintain the color scheme. Okay, so how we going to do is quite simple. Okay, if I can zoom into my colors. Okay, so this is the position for our original color. Okay, so don't change it. Okay, we just change our hue so that we will have a color that's similar hue or style with our original color. So the color scheme will be same. It won't to be too contrast from each other. So I'm going to choose turquoise, something like that, not too dark, because our color is warm already. Our official color is warm, so our background, we choose the cool color. Okay, don't change the position, the color, just change the hues of your colors. So by using this technique, you can choose your color scheme wisely, and then click OK. So now we have our background color. So I'm going to zoom out again. So it look very soft, okay? Because if we change the position, the original color, so the color value will be different. Okay, when we change the hue, okay, the hue is the colors, Okay, the value is this one. where we can see the light and shadow. Okay, all right, so we have that. Since that our design is quite clean, so I'm going to add texture. Okay, I'm going to add texture by using my brush. Okay, I selecting my brush. Okay, and then I'm going to create a new layer. Okay, so because we don't want it to be merged inside one layer, so when we have different layer, it's easy for us to animate it. So I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to select my brush. Okay, I have a few creative brush that I usually use for my work. So I'm going to choose something like a arrow shape. Okay, something like that. So I'm going to change the color. You can change the color to black or whatever color that you want. So I'm going to click my left bracket to change the size. So I have something like this where we can animate it moving up and down. Okay, and then I can add another texture. Okay, I have another brush texture. So again, I'm going to change the color, the size. All right, but this time I'm going to change the color. Okay, according to our corporate color. So I'm going to edit another arrow here. Before that, as I mentioned before, create a new layer for every texture that you create. So it's easy for us to animate it. Okay, I have to. And then I'm going to add a background texture for my background. Okay, I'm going to add a new layer on top of my background. I'm going to use my brush. Okay, and we're going to choose a different style of brush. Okay, this time I'm going to choose a darker color, a black one. So after this, we can change the transparency of it. Okay, just click it once and then go to the opacity. Okay, let me hide this one first. And go to your opacity. And I'm going to change it, the opacity, and make it lesser, like a 10% only. So now we have everything in order already. Okay, so when you're done with your design or your composition, okay, before that, let's add discount text. Okay, where we're going to blink it. Okay, I'm going to create a new text. I'm going to type it here. Okay, and then I'm going to put like a 50% discount. Okay, Control T to transform my text. Okay, but I want to make it offset a bit. It doesn't in the center of our box. Okay, and I'm going to change the color. I'm going to make it red. Okay, before that, click enter for the position first. Okay, double click on my text. Then I'm going to change the color. Double click on my text. So I'm going to change the color. I'm choosing red colors. Will be more striking. Okay, and then I'm going to add another text. This for the discount text. Okay, but this time I'm going to change the color to black, or to make it more easy to see. And going to change the size of it. Click Ctrl T to transform it. Okay, don't forget to click Shift and put the position that you want. So we have it there. So this is how we compose our post. All right. So from there, we can plan our animation. What we're going to do, okay. First, I'm going to blinking my text, the 50% discount. Okay, we go to our timeline. Okay, I'm going to click create frame animation. So we have our first keyframe, first frame. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to duplicate. Okay, we have another frame. For the second frame, I'm going to hide my discount tax. Oh, sorry, the 50% tax. So when we play our animation, I'm going to select forever. So when we play our animation, okay, it becomes faster because we didn't change the timing for the frame. I'm going to select 0.5 second only. This is standard for the blinking effect. So we have the blinking effects over there. Okay, 0.5. All right. So to make more animation, okay, what we can do, okay, so we need to plan wisely because for the frame animation, we don't have like a timeline to play around. We can only play around with the frame. So since this is a 0.5 motion, so what we're going to do, we're going to animate the position of the arrow. So we're going to make it for the first arrow here, I'm going to make it up and down. Okay, I'm going to choose the arrow here. Okay, so it's a layer number 1. So what you're going to do, I'm going to, okay, I'm going to change the position, okay, for the arrow. I'm going to click and drag it, bring it up a bit. So when we animate it, it will be like that. Okay, but let's say you want to make it a little bit smooth, okay, we can, since that this is 0.5 second, okay, we can select both and then go for the tuning. So we're going to add another 4 frame, okay, because we want to maintain the timing. Click OK. All right. So we're going to do, we're going to change the duration of the frame to 0.1 second only. Okay, but this time we need to change the look of our 50% discount because if we play our animation, so it will look like that. Okay, we're going to change for the first, okay, for the first frame up to the frame number 5. Okay, the text will be appear. Okay, but the frame number 6, we're going to hide it. Okay, so this is where we're going to hide our text. And then for here also, we're going to appear our text. All right, but we need to change because the opacity is different already. All right, so what we can do, let's go back to, okay. So we can go to our opacity at the layer setting here. Okay, and then change it to make it 100%. Okay, go to other frame also and change all the 50% discount opacity to 100%. So we have the text appear like that. Okay, and then will be gone or blink at the end of the frame. So when we play our animation, okay, so we need to check again, make sure all of our opacity is 100%. Okay, to maintain the solid text. Okay, all right. So we have now, okay. So the same technique also, we're going to duplicate the first frame. All right, click duplicate. We're going to click and bring it at the end of our frame where, okay, we're going to create animation of it. But before that, we're going to change the position of it. Okay, Rosalind, thank you. All right, so by doing this, you can apply the same effect, the tweening effect. All right. Okay, I'm going to add 4 also. Okay, but this time we're going to change the duration of the text to become uh, opacity 0. Let me undo again. So let me check. So this one is 0. Okay, I'm going to undo again. So we're going to copy our first frame. Copy. We're going to select and bring it to the back. Okay, make it as a another the last frame. We're going to create animation of it. Okay, select the last two frame and click tweening. Alright. So same process. Okay, we're going to change the opacity to 0 to maintain our text will not be appear. So that we will have our blinking text. Yes. Okay. It's quite complicated because we need to play around with the timing. Okay, but if you understand which element that you want to animate, it will be quite easy for you. Okay, so this is how we create a GIF animation or animated for your post or for your poster. Okay, play around with the technique that I already showed to you, where we do a blinking effect, we do the motion, the changing placing of text, and then we do also the transition between two colors. Okay, all of that you can apply to your post. Okay, let's say we want to change the pictures. Okay, because we have our pictures where all of this you can duplicate. All right, we're going to change the picture when it goes to another 5 seconds or maybe the 10 seconds. Okay, let's say I'm going to choose or to duplicate all the layer. Okay, so when we play our animation, okay, it already duplicate. But when go back to the okay, when we come back to this layer, we're going to change the picture of our pictures. So what you need to do, okay, it's quite simple. Okay, just select the pictures layer. Okay, and go to your layer. Go to your smart object. Okay, and then choose new smart object via copy. So where we copy our layer and right click on it, and we're going to replace content. So when we replace content, we can find another pictures where we can put it and replace our current pictures. Okay, so now we have different pictures for our post. But to do that, okay, make sure you select the frame number 1 to frame number 10 and hide the new pictures. So we have our different pictures. Okay, the cappuccino, truffle, they're changing. Okay, okay, it look more better if we have a different color that contrasts to each other. So guys, this is how we create our animated post where you can save it, okay, as a GIF where we can share from WhatsApp or you can post for your IG. But it's quite but the process to post inside the IG, you need to save it to the different GIF website first. Or what you can do, okay, go to file, export, save for the web legacy. Okay, and when you choose save for the web legacy, all right, click GIF, choose as a GIF. Okay, and then select the highest color that we have, 256 color. Okay, and then don't forget to save it. Okay, this is how you save it as a GIF. Okay, other than that, okay, we can export as a video also. Okay, where you can go file, again to export, and then choose render to video. So there's a two option for you. Okay, you can save as a GIF animation, or you can save as a render video. It will be MP4. That one will be much easier for you to post it into your IG. But if you have the GIF animation, it's quite good when you do a sharing or WhatsApp marketing, where you can pass it to your client. Okay, so uh, that's how we export our animated post, is either as a GIF or as a video. So if you want to render a video, just simply click at the render video. Okay, so you have to change the name, you select where you want to save it. Okay, and then the rest, just leave it like that. Okay, the format is H.264 high quality, the same size of our post size, and then the frame rate is 25 frame rate per second. So this is how we render it as a video. So two options for you, is either you want to export as a GIF or as a video. Okay, so I think that's it for today. If you have anything you want to ask, okay, so this is how we create our animated post, okay, using our Photoshop. Okay, for bear in mind, for the Photoshop, the tools is a bit limited. Okay, only to support a few motion. But if you're creative enough, you can create a very unique animated post. Okay, for your posting, social media posting.